On today's episode, we discuss Jason Kelsey retiring. More on the most ugliest divorce in NFL history. Is Dak worth paying $60 million? And Mike Evans resigns with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm Steven Connor, and you're tuning into Sports Talk with Steven. Started with Sports Talk with Steven Connor. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share, and also hit that post notification bell so you can get notified whenever we upload a video. It's always sports related, so please make sure that you hit the subscribe, comment, share, post notification bell so you do not miss out on any of the action. Without further ado, Jason Kelsey, one of the greatest centers, or the greatest center, depending on how you feel, to play the game of football. I have some quick little stat things right here about Jason Kelsey that I want to share with you. The most first-time All-Pro selections by center, he is third with 7. And all of the other 4 people on that list are in the Hall of Fame. Also, some NFL career stats. He's a Super Bowl champion, 7-time Pro Bowl selection person. And every time he was selected to the Pro Bowl was the last 7 times in his career, including his final year. He's a 6-time first-team All-Pro, 13 NFL seasons, and he played 156 straight games since 2014. What a remarkable career for Jason Kelsey. Like I said, he is arguably the greatest center of all time, and at the very least, one of the greatest centers of all time. And he's going to be missed in Philadelphia, and not just because of his what he was able to do center wise protecting the quarterback, but because of what he brought to the locker room. He was a leader, a real leader for that team, and that's something they need, and he's going to be missed in the locker room. And I just want to say what a great career that Jason Kelsey has had. I'm sad it ended the way it did. I wish he could have won another Super Bowl, but he meant so much to that Philadelphia team, and he will be missed. Moving on from Jason Kelsey to Russell Wilson. The other day yesterday I did a video about Russell Wilson getting released from the Denver Broncos. I want to say real quick though, who's to blame in this situation? That was just kind of a rant, but right now I want to talk about who's to actually blame for the situation. And I think we can blame Russ 50-50 and the Broncos organization 50-50. I just watched the hype video of Nathaniel Hackett being hired. Well, not the hype video. Kind of was a hype video where they went through the hiring process and, this is the guy. I got a diverse group of people to help me pick the guy. And them bringing in Russell Wilson. They only hired Nathaniel Hackett for the simple fact, hang on one second. They only hired Nathaniel Hackett for the simple fact that they thought that was going to help them get Aaron Rodgers. They did a disservice to Russell Wilson by hiring Nathaniel Hackett because he was a first-year head coach, never been a head coach before, and they did him a disservice by that. They also did a disservice to Russell Wilson because instead of letting the 2 years on his contract play out, they instead hurried up and paid him all that money, and then they didn't need to do that. Real quick, I want to look at this little stat I have right here. I want to see if I still have it real quick. Give me 1 second. I do not think I have it anymore. Dang, but I believe Russell Wilson. I believe Russell Wilson is like $85 million in dead cap or something crazy. It's crazy, and they still have to pay Russell Wilson too, because instead of waiting out the 2-year contract, they pay him $200 and something million. Ooh, which is absolutely crazy. And I honestly believe that if they didn't pay him that much money, they would be in a much better situation. So, of course, Russell Wilson didn't reach his expectations because you're paying him all this money, and it wasn't necessary. So you set yourselves up then. You set yourselves up when you hired Nathaniel Hackett to be his head coach. And then Russell Wilson set himself up because he came in with all these demands. He parking spots. He asked for his own office spot. Who asked for that? What player asked for their own office spot? He wanted special privilege, and he wasn't playing like a player who should get special privileges. So I just think that whole Russell Wilson, Denver Broncos situation was terrible. This is an ugly divorce. Sean Payton did not like this guy whatsoever. You could tell by the way he talked about him. Told him, you ain't running for office, kissing babies and hugging people. Play some damn football. You could tell he did not like this guy. But overall, this was just a terrible situation from the jump. Like I said, Russell Wilson went in there with too many demands. The Denver set him up for failure when they hired Nathaniel Hackett, and then when they went on and paid him all that money, even though it was unnecessary and he had 2 years left on his deal. Will Russell Wilson play? I do not know. I think he should go to Pittsburgh, but that's a different video. I also think that he won't be asking for that much money because Denver still has to pay him money. I mean, he's going to get paid by Denver. So he should not be asking for that much money from whatever team he looks to go to. But that's my thoughts on that to wrap it up. I think that it's 50-50. Like I said, this year he was playing pretty good this year. He really was. He was playing pretty good. And unfortunately for him, they sat him down randomly. It didn't feel, it was random. And yeah, like I said, it's just everybody's fault in this situation. Moving on from Russell Wilson and the whole situation debacle in Denver, we're going to be talking about Dak Prescott. Is Dak Prescott worth paying $60 million? He's having contract talks with the Dallas Cowboys, and apparently he's asking for $60 million a year. Now, Dak Prescott gets a lot of hate. And I'm going to be one to say this. He only gets that hate because of the team he plays for. And that's the honest truth. If he was not on the Dallas Cowboys, he would not get as much hate as he currently is getting. I really do believe that. However, when you look at $60 million per year, that is a lot of money. The Cowboys right now, whether or not we believe it or not, they are listed on paper as Super Bowl contenders. We all know they're pretenders, but they're actually contenders. And who knows? According to Cowboys fans, it's been every single year, but who knows? It might be their year one year. They might win the Super Bowl. But they have some key players who, if I think they paid Dak $60 million a year, I don't think that would be enough money to keep people like Micah Parsons, for example, or CeeDee Lamb, or some other key players on that team. So, with all that being said, I don't think they should pay Dak $60 million. I mean, I understand why Dak is asking for $60 million. I mean, he can ask for whatever much he thinks he's worth. However, at the end of the day, Dak just came off of he should have been possibly the MVP or further into the conversation than he got. He had a really great regular season, and Dak usually has good regular seasons. The problem here is he doesn't produce in the postseason, and the Cowboys don't produce when it matters the most. And my thing is here, yeah, sure, you can get rid of him and you can go draft a QB or possibly trade or sign a QB. But if you go draft a QB, you're possibly going to have to restart your contending phase again and see if it works out and see if it pans out. They put themselves in a predicament where they should not pay Dak Prescott $60 million, but I ultimately think they would have no choice but to pay Dak Prescott $60 million. But I do want y'all to know that if they pay that man $60 million, I don't think they'll be able to retain one of the key players other than him. And if they really want to win a Super Bowl, if he really wants to win a ring and prove all of us wrong, he needs to take a pay cut. Maybe 40 million, 45. I saw someone say this man worth $30 million per year. Maybe not that low, but he really shouldn't get 60 million because that's not what's best for the team. Sure, that's best for him individually, but that is not what's best for the team overall. What's best for the team overall is him taking kind of less than that, so they could go and so they could keep the core around them, possibly maybe add somebody, who knows, so they could still contend. Because on paper, this team is a contender. They should have went further in the playoffs than they did this year. You could say that about the year before that, the year before that. But Dallas really has a postseason problem. Dak Prescott disappears in the postseason, but it's just not him. We always clown him. But Dak Prescott is a good QB. I would rather have him than several QBs in the NFL. That's a hot take possibly, but I'm serious. And I think we all would. Like I said, Dak came off of a really great season. He should have been in the MVP conversation more. And if he did not play for Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, he would not get as much hate as he is getting right now. I really do believe that. So back to the original question at hand. Should the Cowboys pay Dak $60 million? No, they should not. Why? Because it will hurt the team, and he has not lived up to $60 million a year. They put themselves in a predicament where they possibly will have no choice but to pay him $60 million. But still, he's not worth $60 million to me. He doesn't produce in the postseason. He has no postseason success for real. And with all that being said, if they really want to win a Super Bowl, they really want to prove us wrong, he will have to take less than $60 million. Significantly less than $60 million. So he could have the best team around him. And Dak isn't the only one a part of the problem. Like I said, the whole team, Jerry Jones, and then the fan base. Every year we hear the fan base talking about something. Oh, we them boys. We got Dak. We got Parlo. We got we got CeeDee Lamb. We got Gallup. We got Micah Parsons. We got Trayvon Diggs. We got this. We got that. We're the best team in the NFL every single year. It's our year, and it's never their year. So like I said, Dak should not be paid $60 million a year, but Dak is overhated. And he's simply overhated because he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. If he played for anyone else, he would not be overhated. Last but not least, Mike Evans re-signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on a 2-year, $52 million deal. $35 million guaranteed. He led the league in TDs this year. Well, he was tied with 13 in TD receptions. And he reached 1,000 yards every year in the NFL. I want to say congratulations to Mike Evans on re-signing. He is a great person. I found out recently the charity work he does. I don't even know if his name is on it or not, but he does great work. I found that out recently. He's a really great guy, and I'm happy for him. It seems like he's going to be Tampa Bay for life, and that's good. He helped Baker Mayfield out a lot this year. Tampa Bay was written off this year, and as we know, they had an amazing season. They went from predicted last place in their division to first place in the division to kicking out the defending Super Bowl runners up and conference champions, defending conference champions, and they kicked them out the first round of the playoffs, went to the divisional round, and was so close to making it to the NFC title game. What a great year. He has had over 1,000 yards every year he's been in the league. No matter who his quarterback is, he puts in that work. Mike Evans is one of those guys you're just happy for. You're happy to see him win. He's a great, humble human being. He's consistent, the most consistent wide receiver in the NFL. One of the most consistent players I have ever seen in my life play. And like I said, I'm just happy for him. A lot of people thought he would go ring chasing, even though he already won a ring. Maybe he wants more. I was scared for a moment that he would go to Kansas City because, Kansas City, real quick, Kansas City had the worst team they possibly have had on offense. And Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl. Imagine what he would have did with Mike Evans. Woo, they would have tore the league up. But I'm happy he didn't go there because that would have been crazy. But he re-signs with the Buccaneers, almost guarantees that they're going to re-sign Baker Mayfield. And I'm happy for their future. And like I said, I'm just happy for him. This guy is the most consistent player in the NFL. And like I said, time after year, he racks up 1,000 yards. And he's just overall a humble person. But that's it for me today. You let me know what you think about Jason Kelsey retiring. Who's to blame for the Russell Wilson situation? Do you think Dak is worth $60 million? Who's more to blame for Dallas failures? And your thoughts on Mike Evans. Until next time, I'm Stephen Connor, and this has been Sports Talk with Stephen Connor. Peace, y'all.